Mike, could you just start by talking about your initial thoughts to how everything went this season? Obviously up and down, and you're the starter, and you end just narrowly missing the playoffs. Just try to culminate. What are the thoughts after the end of this one?
I mean, yeah, like you said, there's a lot of ups and downs, but we showed a lot of great things on film. A lot of guys on this team that can make big time plays, all across the board, and that's what we're super excited about. And obviously it didn't go how we wanted it to go, as far as not making it to the playoffs this year, but we know we got to attack this offseason and make sure we come back with the right mindset so that we can come back and be even better. So
there seems to be a general sense of it's coming for this offense and that it is for this team. Why do you believe that?
I mean, we young. We got a lot of young players and a lot of guys that's making big time plays, man. I told Bijan yesterday, I was like, man, like some of the stuff you do is crazy. Like I watch him, I hand the ball off and I got to carry out my fake. Sometimes I want to peek to see what he's doing. So it's like, man, he's a special player. Obviously the guys on the outside, those guys are special as well as the offensive line. We can't do it without them. So there's just a lot of talent around this team, and I feel like a lot of people see that, and a lot of people are believing in the culture and believing in this coaching staff, and we're going to continue to grow as the years go on. So
what do you take away from your first year, learning from Kirk, getting put in as the starter, and finishing as we hope the starter for many years to come?
Yeah, man, it was fun. The whole time it was fun. I enjoyed it. Out there working with scout team, doing my best to, get the defense a great look so that, they can play good on Sundays, But, man, it was special, And obviously Kurt, him being in year 13, just finishing his 13th year, he's amazing, man. He's been nothing but a great support, always helping me, throughout this whole process, since day one. So much appreciation to him. So.
Based on the fact you only got a few weeks working with the ones, does the league need to fear Penix to London moving forward?
Yeah, man, it's going to be special, man. We just not starting, so it's only going to get better.
What was that one moment where you were like, wow, this is really the NFL?
When I ran out the tunnel, I was happy. I was nervous, though, because that was my first time running out the tunnel. Obviously, like the Giants game, we introduced the defense and then away game, but when I hit that tunnel, I was nervous, but I was like, dang, it's crazy. So I always watch that and be like, I want to do that one day. So.
What was the biggest lesson you learned? I know earlier this season you joked of how long this season is, but now that it's over, looking back, the biggest lesson?
Man, it's about the work at the end of the day, and obviously, this business, this league, it's the best of the best, and it's hard to win. That's something that you learn. Like, it's hard to win in this league, so every win that you get, you take it and you enjoy it, but obviously, it's a week by week process, each and every day you got to put in the work, and it's about preparation as well. I watch the guys, in the locker room, like we in the locker room, I think it's just chilling. We just got out of meetings. Now they're still watching film, still talking to each other about, what we can do that coming week to help us win a football game, and man, it's special to see that, and, we got a lot of time on our hands to do that. So it's been good. So I learned a lot.
You talked about the youth offensively, and Bijan yesterday in the locker room said he was encouraged by what the offense can be. What can the offense be in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're the best. Player for player, I feel like we're the best out there. We just got to go do it, and it's going to start with this offseason. We got to attack it the right way. I'm going to make sure I get time with the guys this offseason, try to find a time to get all us together at some point, as well as, if I'm in Cali or somewhere where those guys are, just working with them like that, But it started this offseason, but we special, man, real special.
You mentioned taking a peek at seeing Bijan, seeing if you could see what he could do. What's fun about playing in this offense?
Just the variety that you get on the field of the options of guys that can make big-time plays at any moment of the game, And like I said, like you just mentioned Bijan, like, man, he makes some cuts like, man, I don't think my knees can handle. It's like, I'm like, I couldn't do that, So it's, everybody is special in their own ways, and we just got to find a way to exploit that and continue to build and grow off of that. So.
You spoke of your appreciation for the support you received from Kirk. Would you fill a void miss that if he's not around for next year?
You said what?
Would you miss that support from Kirk if he's not around next year?
Yeah, I mean, I just seen Kirk. I just was talking to Kirk, so I'm enjoying that right now. He's still here right now, so I'm enjoying that. So that's all I can do right now.
What are the things that you will work on with maybe your receivers or other people on this team? Just now that you've been through these 3 games, like what did you learn in those games? And okay, I need to do this in this offseason.
I mean, with the quarterback and receivers, it's about timing. Everything is about timing, that connection that y'all build, and that's something that grows each and every day. And it was continuing to grow, and even in the game, it was growing. It missed a couple plays early on, but you see as we started getting that rhythm, started clicking, things started going good. So, man, it's just going to continue to grow, and what we showed yesterday is just started something special, and it's only going to get better. So.
Michael, on the touchdown to Drake up the left side, it looked like he had the first one. What did y'all say? Just, hey, cut it a little shorter, or because you threw it, went right back to it. What was the thinking on that sequence?
I trust my guy. My guy's better than that guy, and we making a play. So that's all it was. He caught it the first time, was out of bounds, and I was like, I'm going to give it to him again, and he made the play. So.
For you individually, what do you want to work on in this offseason?
Man, I feel like for me, it's a lot of learning for me in this offseason because obviously it's my first offseason, as a rookie. Being my first offseason, there's a lot of stuff that I got to learn. I got to learn, everybody's telling me to take some time off to enjoy it. I'm not used to that. Coming out from college, it's always like winter workouts and it was going, but I'm definitely going to take advantage of that. But, like I talked about my connection with the guys, that's something that's going to be very vital and special, in order for us to be successful in the future. So I'm definitely going to get with those guys. And whenever I'm not taking my time myself, I'll make sure that we're putting in a lot of work to be great.
How helpful have these last few starts been for you as momentum? If you hadn't had them, it'd been a different situation, but you have them under your belt now. So how helpful is that going into an offseason?
I mean, it felt good to get my feet wet, just being out there. I definitely feel like it definitely showed me the speed of the game, in game time situations. I always say games is easier than practice. I feel like you practice against your defense all the time, so they know a lot of your tendencies in the game. I feel like the windows are much bigger, but to know that in college and then get to the NFL and see, okay, it's the same thing. It's just the same game. You just got to execute and, you got to prepare at a high level, and that's what I do each and every day, so that I can play and be play fast and be free. So, man, I learned a lot, and it's only going to continue to get better, but it was good to have those 3.
Is there any particular play that stands out in your mind from this season?
About that what?
That you played, when you were starting the quarterback, is there any particular play that just stands out in your mind?
It's a lot of play. I don't know. You saying when I played?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Maybe it's that rushing touchdown ball that you have right there, right?
Yeah, that was fun, but I like to see the guys ball. Like, I would say Bijan, like, bro, I'm telling you, I can point so many plays. Like, this man jump cut 3 times off one leg. Like, I'm like, what? Bro.
What message might you have for Falcons fans regarding hope for the future?
Man, believe. Obviously this year ain't go how we wanted it to go, but man, we got the guys coming back, and it's gonna be special, man. I'll just say continue to believe. We're gonna believe. We're gonna go out there and put our hearts out and on the line to make sure that we come out with a successful season and make it what we want next year and for years moving forward. So we ready to roll, and this all season is gonna be big for us.
Mike, what have you liked about working with Zach Robinson?
Yeah, I mean, he's great, man. I feel like our communication was great. That's the biggest thing about offensive coordinator and the quarterback. You got to have that communication, that bond, just to know that, for me, I got to let him know what I like, and he lets me know, like, what he feels fit for the game plan. But to have that and, knowing it's like, okay, he's not really comfortable with this, maybe we can push this to another week until he gets comfortable. Like, to have that connection and, being able to talk to them and have them being able to receive that, and just nobody having a big ego and just, doing whatever it takes to help this team win football game. That's the biggest thing, and I feel like he's great with that. So.
Now that the season is over, do you have an appreciation for how your rookie season went? Not having to start right away, having to learn from Kirk. Do you have an appreciation now or look back on that?
I mean, I appreciate every opportunity I get, to play the game in general. Like, I talk about it, man. I had the game stripped from me 4 years in a row, injuries, and for me to be able to be out there, even in practice, like, I I'm not the biggest, I want to be in meetings guy, but I want to practice. Like, I want to throw the football. Like, that's what I want to do, and that's what I have fun doing each and every day. You know, but obviously I can't throw the football successfully without those meetings, so I know that part. But whenever I touch that field, man, I'm just super blessed, super thankful because, you know, you never know when that time is done. So.
Grady talked about he's getting married this offseason. Has he given you any tips on being engaged?
Nah, I ain't talked to Grady yet about no tips, but yeah, I need to talk to him.
As you kind of reflect on the last year, when you had playoffs last year, whole draft process, off season, you're a starter now. What would Mike now tell Mike of last year at this time?
It's just football. It's just football, man. I mean, you playing against the best of the best, but at the end of the day, it's the same game you've been playing since he was a little kid. You know, I didn't know what to expect coming into the NFL. You know, obviously, I'm playing in the best of the best. I'm professional players. I'm playing all these older guys. You know, I'm coming in there young, rookie. You know, but it's just football, man. You just got to put in the work and execute, and you know, you'll be all good. So.
What was going through your head when Kyle either spiked or tossed your first touchdown pass ball?
I was excited. I didn't really pay attention to it. I didn't even realize that's my first ball, but until after the celebration. So I celebrated, then we were about to run off the field, and I was like, oh no, where my ball at? But initially, I was just excited. We tied the game. So.
Defensively, obviously not the performance that y'all were hoping for yesterday. What positives do you take from this season into next year?
There's a lot to work on, you know, but we did get better in some spaces, especially as the season went on. So that's good. We were trending in the right direction, and a lot of things to learn from. But you know, definitely disappointed with the result yesterday. But you know, at the end of the day, not discouraged in the point that it's a final product of what we can do in the future. So I'm excited for what the future holds, man. We learned a lot about our team this year. Learned a lot about our defense and our strengths and weaknesses, and we want to continue to do what we got to do to improve those.
With so much on the line yesterday, why was the defense flat? Why wasn't it able to work yesterday against Carolina?
We had a tough show yesterday on defense, which is unfortunate, and wasn't enough to win the game.
Grady, can you describe the emotions after a season like this? So many highs and lows, and obviously ending in a place where you guys don't want to be.
Yeah, man, super emotional, especially with the last two games being overtime losses with playoff implications on the line. It's super highly emotional because those games can go either way. And if those games go another way, then we are playing in the postseason. That's how close it is, you know, and that's how much work that goes into the whole season and off season. When it comes down to critical moments that we weren't able to finish in, and that makes it sting much more. But those lessons that we learn in defeat, that is going to continue to push us forward. And you just got to keep pushing. It's okay to take losses, but you got to turn the lessons. And unfortunately, like past couple seasons, we've been learning a lot of lessons. Just not making a postseason and stuff like that. But it just take that right time, right moment, right opportunity for us to get where we want to get, and we're closer than we ever been to achieving goals, of getting the postseason, competing for championship, doing what we want to do, and to make the city proud, make the team proud, make our owner proud. So everybody involved. So everybody wanted bad, man, and but we was close. This season was far from a failure. I mean, this was one of the most fun seasons that I've had. Super excited with the way we going, and I would hate for as close as we were to get to where our goal was, to win in the South, to get into the postseason, in which anything can happen. Down to 2 overtime games at the end of the season, to let all the work of everybody involved go to the wayside, and let emotional reactions and disappointments have long-term effects that negate some of the things that we have overcome and the direction that we're going and the camaraderie that we have, not only as players, coaches, support staff, everybody involved. The work should not be in vain, because it didn't go our way, but it was real close to going our way. And I'm proud of this team, man. I'm proud of these guys. I'm proud of my coaches. everybody was able to look themselves in the mirror and say where they needed to be better at, and was willing to put in the work. And I just see that continuing to happen. And I'm super excited, for what the future holds for this team and organization. And I've been here for a long time, and I want to continue to be here for a long time. And I want to see this team have success. And I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up. Nobody that's involved going to give up, and nobody wanted more than the people that's in this building. And we didn't make the postseason, but we definitely we're trending in the right direction, man. And it's super unfortunate. And nobody hurt more than us right now. That these last 2 games that we dropped in overtimes, and it could have went either way, And we feel like we was good enough to win both of them, and other earlier games in the season as well. That's why everything counts. And it didn't go your way, so you got to play the game, got to execute, and that's the reality of it. It is a bottom line business. We know the wins and losses is what count, but the work in between is important as well.
Grady, I appreciate you for that answer. What do you think it's going to take to push this team to the next level?
I just think it's a deeper dive in details, execution, not letting early games, things in the season slip up, and just knowing that every time we take that field, man, you just never know when's your last opportunity. You got to give it your all every time, your effort every time, the preparation that goes into it, and you can't afford to play games where you say, we just wasn't right today, the energy wasn't right, or I could have put in more in my prep. You just can't afford that, because the season seems like it takes a long time, but now being here at the end of the season, I feel like it flew by. And so when if you look back on the season, if there's any time we feel like you could have gave more as a player, coach, whatever, support staff, whatever it is, you never want to have that moment where you have regret, pain of discipline, pain of regret. And I think you can feel the pain or regret on some stuff, definitely with us not making the postseason, and those things that we could grow at.
For you
Any
personally,
part of the season that's most memorable?
Can you say it again? I didn't hear you.
Any part of the season that's most memorable to you?
My first game coming back off the injury, man, that was so awesome. It's a feeling that I haven't felt in so long, maybe never, because I hadn't had a season-ending injury, and to come back to that Pittsburgh game was just super highly emotional, and I feel like, it's just something that you just couldn't replicate. And one of the biggest things that, probably maybe one of the best things that happened in my career, man, just going through that. I see football from I'm able to see it from a whole new set of eyes, going through a major rehab, to be able to come back from not only ACL, but a mid-season ACL as a defensive lineman, playing in the trenches, to be able to have a full season and be able to have a productive season. I'm proud of myself with that. So, that first game back was amazing, man. Just running out that tunnel after not playing for 8-9 games last year, and then just the emotional moment with my family, then also playing a highly productive game that was all off just straight will, and because I definitely felt it after that one, especially with being the first game with of the ACL, so I was a little sore after that game. Was super exhausted. Sad we lost that one, but it meant a lot, and that was probably so memorable for me. I feel like it was yesterday.
Can you describe what gives you that hope and that optimism? 8-win season, what's different between the last 2 7-win seasons and this one?
We won 8 games. It's improvement. So what I'm gonna do? Sit here and not have hope? What I'm gonna do? Sit here and let the world tell me what I can do, what I can't achieve, just because they say it? No. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep pushing. To the day while I got breath. You know what I'm saying? That's what everybody should do. When you accept what people tell you are in your future and stuff like that, then you might as well be dead. At the end of the day, hope. You got another day to hope, another day to push. We're gonna keep pushing, and if you don't, not around people like that, you're gonna be stagnant, you're gonna be sad, you're gonna be down, you're gonna be depressed. I'm not being that. I'm not gonna be sad, I'm not crying, I'm not doing that, so it's a decision, it's a choice to make. My choice is to have hope, my choice is to be encouraged, my choice is to get back to work, my choice is to be optimistic, and until I don't have any control over the way my football career, football life goes up to the point where I'm gonna give it my all, and so I am never defeated.
I guess what I'm getting at is there moments or things that you've seen from teammates, from coaches, from the vibe around this building that kind of give you that?
I mean, yeah, I mean, the right people in the building. As I said earlier, I think we got the right people in the building, and that inspires hope when you see the hard work that people put in, and, you know, the things that, the work and the sacrifices that people are making. And I think that inspires hope for sure. And the will and the want to win, that inspires hope as well.
Grady, for you personally, as you said, you came back from the ACL, and it's now 7 years you've gone without getting in the playoffs. Is that frustration or hunger, something, does that build over a year of like even more, like you want it even more?
Yeah, man, it's definitely. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's frustrating. You know, it's motivating. But at the same time, it's more of I don't put so much time and work. You know, I can't abort mission to try to think the answer is somewhere else. You know, the work that I put in the last 7 years. You know, with this team and organization since we've been to playoff. You know, it counts for something, you know. It counts for something. It means something to me. And for me to just think the grass is greener somewhere else, you know, or the grass is, you know, make it go the easier route, I'm not doing that. I'm too much invested, you know what I'm saying? Or at least, you know, the things I can control, you know. And you know, I'm under contract here for another year, so what I can control now is everything that I give to the organization. So I'm not tapping out, never tapping out, and you know, it's okay to be, you know, disappointed sometimes, but you just can't be defeated. You always got to keep pushing, pressing, and that's how I feel about it. You know, I'm not a quitter, and the day that it do come when we make the postseason and we win championship, and I'm gonna be proud that I didn't give up. You know, I'm gonna be proud that I didn't lose faith, I didn't lose hope, and be proud that I kept working. And you know, that day ain't today, but as long as I get another day to put some work in, do what I gotta do. You know, that's what I'm gonna do. And the grass is greener where you water it, and I'm you know, firm believer in that. And my grass is, you know, win, lose, draw. You know, every day try to keep my grass green. You know, that's as far as, you know, being blessed to be able to come to a place like this to work in a new facility like they did for us, man. I mean, just to be able to you know, play for the people I play for, the city I play in. I mean that's a blessing within itself. But I say that to say that I'm not satisfied. It's not okay that we didn't make the postseason. You know, it's not okay that you know, we came up short. You know, dropped some stuff, but that don't mean that the work still can't be done. You know what I'm saying? And that don't mean that I'm content with losing. I don't like to lose. It's hard for me to lose. It's difficult. You know, but that don't mean that I'm like down, defeated. You know what I'm saying? So I just gotta keep working, keep pushing, find out where I can be better at to help support the people around me. How more things I can be better at to be more productive to help the team, and things like that. You know, controlling what I can. But as a competitor, you know, you're definitely disappointed. But as you know, somebody who just take a lot of pride in their work, put a lot of work in, I take it as a challenge to, you know, see it through. You know, to see it through, do what I got to do to get us to where we want to be, and whatever role that I'm in, you know, to help this team get there, I want to fulfill it to the max.
When you look at the young talent that's on this roster, does it inspire that change you were talking about?
Yeah, without a doubt, man. I mean, these guys are superstars. You know, they're not good players. They're superstars in the making. Excited to see them continue to grow, continue to blossom. Just really just really coming to their own as they mature, become, you know, better pros, and just continue to be super productive. You know, we've got a great young quarterback in Michael Penix, great running back Bijan Robinson, Drake London, one of the best in the game, doing what he do. You know, I mean, I can go on and on, even the guys we got on defense, young players we have. But I mean, obviously those three guys are pillars for our team, those young three guys I just mentioned, and, you know, they're going to score a lot of points. You know, they're going to score a lot of points, and I want to be part of that because they're about to, you know, really take the league by storm. So I'm excited for them, and I'm just I'm happy to be here. I'm excited to see them grow, and they got some really good talent.
Yeah, tough. That's not a. You know, you talk about building for the future, and that future could have been this week. New Orleans almost did it. The future will obviously now be next season. You just wanted to build with a little momentum into it. But that's not how it worked out. It's not how we did it. Sucks. Now you're gonna have to find a way to use that sting as momentum.
How do you guys take the next step forward as an organization next year?
I think a lot of that's gonna obviously Terry and Ra get paid a lot of money to figure that out. I'll trust their vision on that. From my point of view, I'd love to keep some really good pieces that we have on this team. Keep some continuity and then let them go. Terry, go cook and do his thing and get some more pieces for us. And hopefully marrying those things up will result in a lot of success. And also, man, I'm just obviously our quarterback room. I think at the end of the day we had a special room this year. Kirk's obviously an amazing player, threw for 500 yards, won us some big time games early on in the year. And obviously to turn it over to Mike, and at the end of the day, I'm excited about that kid, and he's got a lot of potential. I'm excited to get to play with him, and I think he can be a big part of that progression.
How much more frustrating, I guess, is it the fact that you guys were as close as you were to making it into the postseason?
Yeah, it's just, it sucks because you're this close, and at the end of the day, making the postseason and seeing what you can do there, it changes careers, legacies, not only for the players and coaches, but for everybody involved with the organization, our training staff, equipment room, everybody. It's just a big deal for everybody. And to not get it done, yeah, it sucks.
When it comes to the draft, what would you like to see from the Falcons in this administration?
Just trust Terry, honestly, in that one. I just let them go and do their thing. At the end of the day, the only thing I'd ever say about that is, bring in the right people, and whatever position, just the right people. And I think he's done a really good job of that so far, and I know he'll continue to.
When you guys had your meetings today, what's been the conversation like? Are y'all already talking about next season, or was it more so recapping this year or Sunday's game?
Yeah, more like putting recapping this year, kind of just saying, didn't go the way we wanted to, but just thank you to everybody for putting in what you did put in.
Kaden, if you're okay for me to ask you about what happened in New Orleans on New Year's, you spent a lot of time in that city. Just what were your thoughts and emotions whenever all of that happened?
Heartbreaking, and just prayers out to them, to all involved, and so sad. That sucks. That's just my beliefs. We need Jesus, and without him, that's what you get. So it's just heartbreaking to me.
Specific to Carolina, Bryce Young hadn't had the kind of success all year that he saw yesterday. Could you pinpoint why he was able to be so comfortable in a game that was, really important to what you all were trying to do?
Yeah, we didn't get to him. We didn't get hits on him. We didn't get there. They did. They had a good plan. They have a good coaching staff. Obviously, that's how we got that head coaching job. I think he was like 1 year offensive coordinator in Tampa Bay. So obviously a very bright mind. And he came at us with some stuff that was, got the ball out of his hand quickly, or if he needed something to develop down the field, he had a lot of guys in there protecting him to go and isolate a matchup somewhere else on the field. So at the end of the day, they schemed it up well, and obviously you've seen since his benching, coming back in, he's kind of gained steam, and just sucks that yesterday we allowed it to, continue to gain steam on us.
How can the defense under Jimmy Lake, or whatever the defense looks like this offseason, how can you all grow, specifically the defense? Because I feel like a lot of the talk is offense and the optimistic there. How do you grow defensively headed into next year?
Again, that's a layered question because you got free agency, you got a lot of guys leaving. Hopefully we can bring them back. Obviously, you don't know how free agency goes, so it's always different. You got the draft, and then you've got just the what we're going to build through OTAs and training camp. So, to answer that question right now will be difficult. But I think come OTAs, that'll be an easier question to address.
Every year, every NFL team looks different. You're mentioning all those pieces that can be in play, obviously in the offseason. But what will you remember the most about this specific group of guys on defense?
We had fun. There was obviously beginning of the year we weren't playing the way we wanted to. But it was just awesome seeing, the leadership from the different guys, the strides that were taken, AK, Arnold Ebiketie coming out, and D'Angelo Malone, guys just coming out all of a sudden, hitting that quarterback, things we didn't do yesterday. But, that 5-6 game stretch there where, all that hard work kind of paid off, and you're able to see the fruits of our labor. Now, to the points that have been asked, we got to find ways to continue. And obviously anybody, no no matter who you are in this league, no matter if you got all pro at every single player, you're going to have a down game every now and then. It happens. It's the NFL. They get paid too. But the trajectory has to always be continue to go up. And so I was just thankful that for the most part that's where it was. Obviously, we were kind of like this and we ended right there. Now hopefully starting next year we can keep the trajectory going up.
Kaden, when you guys had that 4-game losing streak, do you feel like that's kind of when things may have kind of gone sideways a little bit, that you couldn't stop that bleeding?
Yeah, I mean, you're sitting 6-3, and you put a lot of hard work in to get to that point so that you could control some things. And when you lose 4 straight, at the end of the day, people in the NFL are going to catch you because other teams in the NFL are too good. You just can't do that. So again, sucks that happened. Is what it is.
It might look a little different next year, the locker room you mentioned, but despite the disappointing end, is there a long-term sense of hope when you look around and see the returning, and is there optimism looking forward for fans to grab a hold of?
Yes, definitely. You've got just some really awesome pieces on this team that I know we can surround and make things happen. You still got Jesse Bates, who's forced more turnovers in the NFL than anybody in the last 3 years. He gets the ball back, and when you get the ball back to Michael Penix, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Darnell Mooney, that O-line, like when you get the ball back, Tyler Algier, you get the ball back to them as many times as Jesse Bates, and hopefully the rest of us can help him do. It's going to be success. I don't know if there's another way for that to happen. So there's hope, and there's we will get this thing going, and just at the end of the day, Ra's energy, his passion, his excitement. You always want the 1-year quick turnaround. It didn't happen for us this year, but I believe that the trajectory will keep going up.